Hi, folks. So I decided to go with a slightly controversial title to get people interested in starting, because in the old days, it was very easy, right? This is what a bank looked like. This is how a bank should look. If your banks don't like this, and that's what it should look like inside. And it should have a big one of those, right? Really big. And what do bankers look like? Well, originally they looked like that. If you know any who still look like that, well done. But that's more like it. If you're in the US, the archetypal, trustworthy banker looks like John Pierpont Morgan. And if you're in the UK, the archetypal banker looks like Captain George Mannering. You'll need to look it up. But bankers are trustworthy. There have been a few abuses. But that's why we have lawyers. Lawyers have come in and we're all fine now. Yeah, right. We do need protection. We do need to work out what to do. And there's a problem in that contracts are forward-looking instruments, but litigation is backwards-facing. So what do we do for now? And the world, as you'll have noticed from this font, has changed. It's an easy cheat, but it works, right? Because this is what a bank looks like now. And this is how we interact with banks. And computers move quickly, and backwards and forwards-looking contractual approaches are just insufficient if you want to be building trust in the institution and what they do. So we've moved from interacting with this guy to interacting with this. We can't trust bankers as we just don't interact with them. So what can we do? Well, banks are their applications and their data these days. These are all these things that happen, and many more things that happen, which we've already heard about a bit, and I don't know much about because I'm not a banker. And they require confidentiality and integrity and auditability. If you can't guarantee these different primitives, these different properties for your various things, you're going to run into problems with your customers, your regulators, and your board. Enter confidential computing. This is what I want to talk to you very briefly about. So this is what a computer looks like in my head. You've got a chip at the bottom and a host operating system, and you've got some sensitive data and an app in it as well. But you need to think, who can look inside that? Well, your banker probably can, and that's probably fine, and maybe the bank's IT, and maybe the banking sysadmin, and if it's in the cloud's IT, and the cloud sysadmin, and, well, anyone who's hacked in as well, right? We've got a whole bunch of people who can look in, and this is not a good thing. And what confidential computing does is it basically uses hardware to put an isolation layer around that thing. You can use it to provide defense in depth for pretty much anything you can think of. But it works alongside these other things that you're going to be doing anyway, vetting, contracts, process. Don't think of it as a fix-all. And what it does is it stops all those people from looking inside that app and that data. Maybe you might want to let your banker look in certain circumstances. That's fine. But you can control who looks in, what they can do. And that's what confidential computing does based on chip-wise capabilities available in all clouds now, on Intel hardware, AMD hardware, NVIDIA hardware, ARM hardware, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to invite you to find out more about the Confidential Computing Consortium, a project of the Linux Foundation. We have a track all today in Hub 1 with a bunch of very interesting talks and 2 that I'm giving, which will also be very, very interesting. And so we would love to see you there. Don't trust bankers, trust technology. Thank you.